Right, so we should be live in theory. So, just gonna make sure all is good. Yep, all seems good. Now, I better have this phone out, because someone might say hello. And we want the live chat. Right. So, I thought I'd drive a Thumper, so give it a moment to load. It's going to be a bit laggy. Stick my head down. It puts a load of clag in your face and that is, there you go. So, I'm just going to run down along this wonderful line. And I'm going to run all the way to Frome and back, Frome Market. Yep. So, I just need to make sure points are set. Because we don't want to derail the Thumper. Yep, that's fine. See, is his point set correctly? Yeah. Just make sure the points are... I can see by the signals this one ain't right. The ones down that end are fine. So, I just need to... make sure all is fine. Ooh. I'm assuming that's right. We'll find out eventually. So I'm just going to go into the other cab. Just make sure this is set to red. Red. And the other one. This does take a moment. So this is the Armstrong Powerhouse Class 205 Thumper. I picked the blue because I like the blue one. That's that. So that's a headlight I've set. We need to set that's instrument, indicator lights, and those are on. And I'm just going to set a random number. Preferably around the 4, because it's going to be near the red, because I'm a bit lazy. This is set randomly. .45 will do. Shut that. Shut that. We want our windscreen wipers. It's quite stormy, as you can tell. There we go. If we go to wrong one, the other end, see that's red. Perfect. Let's master key. I think we're ready to go, apart from letting people on board. So, yeah, nice and windy. I'm just going to check the audio levels on my phone, so you may hear that. Gonna do the horn just in case. And I think you may prefer that a little bit louder, to be honest. So I'm just gonna try that. Let's try that now. Yep, I'm happy with that. Sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure all is good. So I accidentally clicked off the stream because I'm stupid. Right. So, I think I'm actually set up ready to go. Apart from the obvious putting it in forwards and letting people on and all that. So, let's open doors. I'm gonna put it in forwards. We just gotta wait. Can hear the doors going. You can open windows and stuff and that door and that, but you don't really want to do it on this weather, do you? Bit damp. That's us clear to go. I'm gonna just stand here. And off we go. And we have departed Mel's Road. So yeah, this is the Thumper. Quite well known for, well, it sounds, because the engine thumps. But yeah, there's quite a lot of detail. It's not perfect, you can see there. But I mean, I like the wear. I mean, you've got nice cab lights. You've got the cab heaters, so I can put cab heaters on. It's quite nice for a day like this. Right, I'm gonna open her up a little bit. Just so you can hear that. Just shut it off and then full whack it again. Yeah, it's quite nice. Just going over the crossing. So yeah, some lovely miserable weather. Just gonna tap the brakes on a little bit. We have Mel's. We are approaching. We also have an AWS ramp. It's going to go off. There we go. Bit more force on the brakes. So I do have the live chat open. If you're wanting to say hello, I can chat whilst driving. I need to zoom out a bit. There we go. I like the individual shutting slam doors. Gotta love slam doors. So the stream seems to be running smoothly. This is my first actual live stream since I've had this computer, which I've had it for over a year actually. Get to set off. So yeah, I've always wanted to do train sim live streams. Always have. It's just something I've always wanted to do, to be honest. One of the reasons I set up the channel, but never had the equipment good enough. And now I do. I have done for about a year and only started doing some videos. But now I decided to do a live stream and it's working quite well, which I'm glad to see. Listen to that nice purring engine. Purrs quite nicely. Or should I say thump? Yeah. So we are approaching, just beyond this bridge is a 1 in 48 gradient, so I'm just going to shut off. And for the joys. What I like is the air gauge when you do the horn, if you like. So I'm just gonna AWS, put the brakes on a bit more. We do want to be slowing down for Flowers Farm. There we go. It's 0.2 miles away. I can just see it now. We're slowing down a little fast, so I'm just going to ease off the brake a little bit. Yeah, a bit too quick. That's alright. We'll just take the brakes off. We're quickly speeding up because we're going down a 1 in 48, so I'm just putting that brake back on. That was probably a bit too harsh. We are stopping quite nicely. And why not? I'll slam it in emergency. Brakes will be fully on. Two people watching though, one will be me on my phone, just keeping an eye just in case someone wants to say hello. I don't know what this audio is like, so if you just heard me have a drink, I do apologise. Yeah, I like the general wear in this. Oh. We don't really need much to set off. I'm more or less giving it a bit of throttle just to hear that engine purr. I apologise, I have too much fun sometimes. AWS. Oh, going through a tree. Having a bit of lag. I think the sounds are exceptional on this. I think they've done a good job on this. I don't know why, I just like driving the Thumper in a storm. I also like the North Somerset Railway. Although it doesn't... I say it doesn't exist, there's still track up there and that, but it's not preserved. I do quite like it. There is a 20 approaching. And there is a signal, so I want to slow down. and we are at a red. That's fine. Okay, that was a bit harsh of a stop, but so we better make sure we know what's going on. So that point's set wrong, and that point's set wrong, and there we go. We're set off. And if I just hop out this window and get a soggy head, this is a crossing, and down there goes to the quarry. So this bit still remains in real life, still takes you off to the quarry, but this bit up here is no longer. So if I just take you round Watley Quarry, there you go. Now the track is there in game, but it's not detailed. It's just open land. But I think it's nice that it has been at least vaguely modelled. Oh, so we're up into a 40 again. Why not open it up? Don't really need to, I just like the sound. So I have, if I just focus on slowing down briefly, I have actually had a cab ride on a Thumper on the Lavender line. You can pay not very much at all, at least when I went, and you can ride on their Thumper. I think they got two. I rode on 1118, which is blue. That's an annoying bit of track. It goes downhill and then all of a sudden uphill. So yeah, I am going a bit slow, but there's no timetable to this, so we're fine. No, I have had a cab ride on a Thumper, and it even joined us at East Somerset Railway. It went to CTMS for some work. The power car did, at least. But yeah, I have had a cab ride, I should say, with a driver who used to drive the Thumpers back in the day, and in fact, the one we had a cab ride in. And yeah, it was quite fun. I quite enjoyed it, to be honest. Quite like the Thumpers. So we are in fact approaching Through Market. Hopefully always running smoothly for everyone. I think there's a very slight delay, only by about 5 seconds. So nothing too bad. I don't mind cruising a few miles an hour under the speed limit, although I am going to put it up a couple notches. Just so we don't slow down too quickly. Bell's gone off. You have a green, and now I'm gonna shut the throttle off and just coast a little bit. Now I'm gonna think about some brakes. Now I can do this whole line and everything without the HUD down the bottom, but I quite like it there. It's useful for knowing where stations are. Even though I can know just by the route, it can be quite nice just to see it. Also to know exactly what percentages you're throwing in. So we'll just Stopping it, and this is the end. Just drop the brakes down so it's a bit of a smoother stop. There we go. And that's us done this end. Just going to turn the indicator light off and let it park. Windscreen wiper. And I change this to red because this will be the back of the train. That'll do. Make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Yeah, everything seems fine. Oh, headlight, need that off. So we're in the opposite cab now. So I click here. We're facing back out towards where we come from. Open this. We're gonna go. What did we have before? 45. Let's go 55. Why not? Again, not setting it to anything properly. Just put engine only for now. We want brakes up there. Yeah, that'll do. So we've got the cab light. And we also have, if I can get there, instrument lights. It's quite nice. Of course, works a bit better at night. And we want the windscreen wipers going. I think that's everything. I'll sit here for a minute though. Lovely weather. Sit you in with the people. So yeah, this is in where the passengers sit. Nice luggage racks and that. Do not lean out at windows and alarm. 50 quid if you pull it in properly. No smoking. Yeah. Look, you can see all the hose connections, which is really nice. Nicely weathered as well. I like the worn look of this. All the signs are legible, all the plaques and that. Around the buffers. Bogies look quite nice. So this is the non-powered unit. And then this is powered one with the battery boxes, compressor and all that. Quite nice. And what you'll notice is the horns sound different. So if I go in the other cab briefly, that's that horn. If I go back to the one what we've just set up, they sound quite drowsy, the horns on these, but I quite like it. It's a bit of a charm. So next up is to return up towards Mells Road, but I'm going to go beyond Mells Road and head right down to Radstock, which will be nice. So I think I'm going to just put it in forwards and open the doors, and we can prepare to set off. Head off to Radstock. Calling at Flowers Farm, Mells Road, possibly Kilmersdon if I decide to stop there, and Radstock. The train only has 2 coaches, which is quite typical. Still hear doors going. That was the guard telling me he's ready to go. Notice how you haven't got an amp gauge on Thumper. I wondered if we were going there. And because the power unit is the unit behind this one, you can see that little jolt as it just hits into it. And it'll be quieter because the engine unit's over there. So this will sound more like a tin can. Just the audio as you go over bridges changes, which it's okay. I just think they should disguise it a little bit better. Let's open it up a little bit more. You won't hear any general noise of rolling. Yeah, so there's no amp gauge in this cab. And the cab is slightly different. You don't have the door there. You go out the back. A nice folding seat. I don't know if it does fold. I can just about hear the engine, to be honest. That's the handbrake. Looks like it's some from a ship, to be honest. Yeah, there's a sewage works. Do you want to see that? There you go. Shut that off before I go speeding. We'll just coast a little bit. We're going to slow down, but by the time we hit that downhill bit, we'll probably speed up a bit. And then we go straight uphill, and there's a 20 anyway. So it's cool. It's an alright route. It's not the most detailed, but it's detailed enough. It's quite nice. Look at that tilt. Look at that. So you can see we've slowed right down. We haven't actually hit our downhill bit yet. We will be now. So you may hear a bit of muffly sound when I'm talking. This is the microphone's fault, but I mean, I'm sure you can cope with it. It's not awful. Plus, the sound of this train, this unit, will probably override it a little bit. I'm gonna just notch up a little bit. Don't want to lose all my speed straight away. Stream seems to be running smooth enough, which is brilliant to see. Wi-Fi's holding up, touch wood, and the game's holding up, and in general the computer. Let's just shut off now because I need to slow down to 20. I'm not going to bother with brakes at the moment because I think we're just going to slow down naturally enough. Yep, easily. In fact, I'm going to notch it up again a little bit. And just go over the junction. A bit more throttle. We want to keep it in the 20s. It's quite a slow speed limit. So I'm just playing about with notch 5 and 6. Yep, speed in. There we go. That's what happens when you level out and don't realise. It's alright. It's only a couple mile an hour. There's been worse cases. We're just gone beyond a 40. There we go. So I'm going to full throttle it, notch 7. If we go back to the rear of the train, you can hear that engine thumping. Nice purr. You can hear the wind. It's not very nice weather out there, is it? Completely different to what it is in the real world. It's okay. It's not raining in real life. Slow acceleration. This is quite a steep gradient. If you had double power cars, which I think the rail track version does, the consist, but yeah, it's alright. Now you may wonder why I'm notching down. We're approaching Mells Road. I'll just AWS. I think I'm quick enough, you know. Now the reason I haven't braked till late is because the gradient really helps against stopping. There we go. Just a little bit more. Perfect. Tell you what, I'm going to stop there for a moment and I'll be right back. Right, so I am back. Hopefully I didn't make you jump there. There we go. Just open the doors and we'll get ready to set off. So some of you may have wondered, why did I set off at Mells Road and not Radstock or Froome and do a full return run? Well, I like Mells Road. I think it's the smartest station along this route. I'm just waiting for the buzzer. But yeah, I think it's the smartest station along the route, to be honest. I think it's quite smart. We're gonna full notch it. There we go. We're getting up that hill straight away. So, as well as I think it's quite smart. Nice two double platforms place as well. I actually use this route. It's a free roam scenario thing I've set, and I run this as a heritage line sometimes, so it's nice. That's why you will see something like an 08 and some steam locos, like a manor class and that around the shed and that. And I always set off from Mells. I normally do Mells Road to Flowers Farm and back, and then sometimes every couple times down to Radstock. But for steam locos with coaches, you've got to do a full shunt release, which isn't as fun as just running round. So that's why. So yeah, not much noise here. AWS. Just approaching the bridge, we'll be levelling out. You can barely hear that one, and then that one's nice and loud. It's a bit of a lousy two-tone horn, but it's quite nice. Just going to take the notch down. It's nicer when you can see the amps being pushed out on this thing, to be honest. A couple people watching. Hope you're enjoying the stream. I may eventually do longer runs, etc. I'm not going to stop in time for Mel's, I won't stop there. We've already been there. Let's full notch it. I'll stop at Mel's Road and then Radstock, I think. Kilmersdon is a very tiny platform and it's not much point. So yeah, I may eventually do some evening streams, AWS, when more people will be about. With some Steam locos as well. We'll see. This one is going well, so I think I will attempt to do some more. No speed, 48 miles an hour, but we've got a 40 coming up. Speeding only just. And then we've got a 25. So we passed an 08, you can see an 03 there, you can see a stream of steam. The game does tend to slow down about here. There's an AP class 37 in there and everything. I'll show you when we stopped actually. So we've slowed down for going into platform 1. You can see the line of mark ones I run. Those are Armstrong Powerhouse as well. It's nice because they actually have a whistle with them. Guard. Nice having a guard on your train. I'm just gonna stop anywhere. So yep, there. SKs and a couple BSKs. And because we're stopping there for a moment, we'll just do that. So yeah, this is Mel's Road. Nice little Ruston 48. This is a free loco from Wayside Works. It's alright. The biggest fault, the biggest flaw is that lining problem. It's quite a nice little thing. Because it's freeware, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, you know, if there's a couple little hiccups, you know. I set up this area with benches, water crane, and some volunteers stood about. Hunswick Fitzwilliam. You see I'm slowing down a little bit, but Dinmore Manor with a Cornish Riviera Express headboard. You can change those, you see. You can change a lot with these. It's Victory Works, and then this is a Victory Works pannier tank, which is quite nice. Again, very nice loco, quite customisable. The Caledonia Works, I forgot the class number, but it's a Beetle Crusher. Hi Chris, you alright? How are you doing? I know it's afternoon, it's a weird time for me, but I had a gap and I wanted to see if I could actually stream on Train Simulator, which it is working, so I'm quite happy, to be honest. I hope the stream's running fine, smoothly in that. I can't really tell unless I turn the volume up and then you hear it through my mic and everything, and then it's not as fun. But yeah, the Beetle Crusher, quite a strong, beefy Caledonian tank engine. Just look at them cylinders just sticking out the side. It's quite nice. Very smart. Nice whistle on it. The AP37, again, quite a smart thing. And then the 03. It's a clean version. I forgot. Was it British Locomotive Studios? I can't remember. Stream is all good. Thank you, Chris. Thanks for letting me know. I'm very pleased to hear that. But I got a reskin that was a clean version. I mean, the buffer's still a bit dirty and stuff like that, which is nice. You want that. You still want a bit of rust on the buffers and stuff like that, but that's fine. And then Out in the Rain, Mark 1, 08662 and EWS livery. it's quite warm. But yeah, so that's the locos I tend to run on here. No, I'm very pleased to hear the stream's running well. Oh, that's much quieter. I like hearing the raindrops. I have wanted to stream Train Simulator since I began the channel. It's one of the reasons I actually started the channel, but I didn't have the equipment to do it, really. The strong, powerful enough equipment. And I've had this computer for over a year and I haven't tried it out yet until today. So I may do some Train Simulator live streams at night now. Doesn't mean I'm phasing out Roger Bay live streams. Definitely still got them. I've got a couple of those streams planned out already with stock and that to run. So I'm just pleased I can do it and it's running smoothly. Good selection of locos, love pannier. Oh, you've got to love a pannier tank. Right, so I'm going to head down to Radstock now, so doors open. Now I've given you that little tour. The semaphore signal's given us a right to move. I'm just going to knock that brake out a little bit. I love the weathered look in this cab, it's really good. And in general it looks like a nice well used loco, but not in a really rough condition if you know what I mean. So just waiting for the guard. You can tell we've got wonderful weather. So we just had the bell from the guard. We might get nudged. When it feels like it. Yeah, there we go. Just got nudged. And we're off to Radstock. There's a station between here, which is Kilmerston, but I'm not going to stop there. Let's just pull out of here. And it's downhill all the way. And after this we will return up to Mells Road, and then you can hear the engine making a bit of sound, which will be nice. Don't need to do this, but I just want to hear that engine make some noise. There we go. I mean, we can have different HUDs and stuff like that. I like that one. So there you go, you can see Kilmerston down the bottom. Just going to put the brakes on a little bit. Just see how responsive they are. They're fine. AWS. So yeah, this is quite a pleasant little route for the game. It's nice and pleasant. So this is a 1 in 69 gradient, and I think it goes to a 1 in 77. But yeah, there's something about driving the Thumper in a storm. No way is this a prototypical run, this line. I wouldn't have had Thumpers on it. Can you control the weather? So you can change it, set it to what you want before you run the trains. So like now I can't clear it up. I'm just going to do a bit of horn as we fly through Kilmerston. So no, you can change the weather, you can set it when you load up the game. Well, just before it loads up. Or through the editor you can set it. So I set it to be a storm, which I just thought would be a bit of fun. But you can have clear, foggy and stuff like that, rain, snow, whatever you want basically. It's quite good. Just knock that brake off again so we can speed up a little bit. Quite some sharp bends around this route. See a lot of tilting. Yeah, now we're on a 1 in 77. But yeah, weather can be set by yourself. if you choose to do so. Same with the time and everything, I just left it to whatever I had it last time, which was about 11:50. Now you see it's 12:30. So we're going 35 and a 40, perfect enough. There's no strict timetable, we're the only engine running. I haven't got lots and lots of routes, but I mean, if you're happy to see some run, then I'll do them. I mean, there are some quite long runs you can do on this route, so... Not just this route, this game, sorry. Gonna have AWS go off. There we go. I'm just gonna slow down a little bit, because we are approaching a 25 limit. There it is. And it's very quickly followed by a 15. You see the warning for the 15. You see some ground frames around here. So I want to think about slowing down, don't I? Maybe a bit quicker than that. There's the 15 there. 16, 15. Bang on time. And here we are. End of the line. Radstock. So I just got to make sure I stop in time before I hit into those buffers. Don't really want to plunge into the buffer stop. I think I've got it set perfectly. And you wouldn't believe it. An S-car marker stop right in front of the buffers. You won't believe that, would you? And there we go. So I've opened the doors, let passengers off. Just gonna... no, wrong one. There we go, just park that, turn that off. You will have the guard tell me it's time to go. That's just through the programming. It won't program that you end at the line and that. Wrong way. I overshot that, didn't I? I'm happier to overshoot on that than the train itself, though. There we go. And we want to turn the headlight off. You see that? And then we go on to the other side. You see the brakes are playing about. They've slammed on, which is what we want. Oh, before I go, I need that off and the master key done, because I've got to do it on this one. I'll put it in engine only for now. That'll do. I've turned that on. I'm going to turn the headlights on as well, but you won't see that. So if you do set it off a bit, let's do 45 again. Say I go overshot, wrong end. You see it overshots on there, which I think is quite nice. Doesn't just stick to it. There we go. And the windscreen wipers, because we want to at least see a little bit in front of us. And this is the power car, so you'll hear it revving up and that, which will sound quite nice. Like that. So just have a look around Radstock if you want. So there's the loop, but if you had steam locos, you'd have to do a shunt release about 3, maybe 4 coaches at a push. Fit there. Get rid of that. Line it up. Screenshot. So yeah, the detail's quite nice on this. I mean, who wants their windows open really? But I mean, they're shut when you go on the inside. Nice BR logo. It's quite nicely modelled, this. AP seem to do some good stuff, from my experience. I would like lightning in this storm, to be honest. There's probably one storm you can set that has lightning in it. I like the flaking on the roof and stuff, it's quite nice. There you go. Little yellow end. Just hear that engine. I mean, that is the unit modelled. It's nothing perfect, but I mean, really, it's just to see through the windows, which you can, and it looks alright from there. But you can see the weather and the streaks and that. It's a very nice job. And the sounds have been recorded from a real Thumper. I'm not sure if it was 1118, the one I rode in, or not, but... I mean... You can open the door. Lock it. Oh. That was not meant to happen. There we go. I was going to open that. And you can stop and start. So if I be a bit stupid. Now we'll hold the air for the brakes. We've still got plenty of air. You can see the Thumper rocking there. If I look on the outside, you can see it rocking. Now in reality you put the handbrake on, but because we hold air, I mean if you hold down on the horn long enough you'll let all the air out quicker. But there you go. That's when you start it. Normally when you haven't got the wind blowing in your ears it's fine. And then you've got your cab heaters which do actually end up misting your windows and that's quite funny. TPWS and all that. AWS and that. It's all nicely done and everything's nice and legible, which I quite like. I mean, you've even got a sun visor. And you won't see it because the windscreen wipers are going all day, but as you run along, say on a sunny day and that, you'll get a little bit of dirt on your window. Probably more of a fly than anything that you hit. And you just turn the windscreen wiper on and it gets rid of it. It's quite nice. Definitely some nice features on this. So, let's ask everyone in the chat, are you ready to just set off? Set off to Mells Road, where we shall stop for the day. We've seen a bit of Radstock. Single platform. A few bikes and stuff, and then goes off. It's nice that they model so much and then they just, as you go out, they still model, and then it just goes into nothing. But it's so far out that you won't see it from the line side, basically. I think it's quite nice. But yeah, you ready to go? If so, say so in the chat. I shall open the doors and then we shall set off, going uphill. I'll let Chris decide if he's still on. Fire extinguisher. And these are your cab views. You can turn AWS off and all that in here, which is quite cool. Got test your fire alarm and stuff like that, which I think has just shut off the engine. Yep. Your battery boxes, so you can isolate it and all that. Yep, we can. No, wrong one. Why not go out again? I hear the engine start. Yeah, the fire alarm test does shut off the engine, which is fair enough. But you know, you can just make sure it works before you even start the engine normally, you know. There's a lot of views though, it's quite good. Well, I think it's time to set off. So, that's doors open. But wait, I love the sound here and the rain hitting the cab. Of course, I don't hear. Well, I do hear my voice over everything, but it doesn't block out as much as it probably does for you. So I need to keep quiet. Can you hear it? Sounds nice, doesn't it? So I'm expecting to hear a bell any moment. There we go. So we are allowed to go. We're about to set off. But I want to do it externally. We are speeding, don't matter. Now that sounded nice, didn't it? Back up to 25. So we've just hit 25. I was going to say we're speeding, but we've just gone past a 40, so we're fine. And now some nice sound up towards Mills Road. Again, we're just avoid Kilmsden. AWS. And you don't hear it unless you're in the cab, but I saw it go off, and that's what's useful about the HUD, because otherwise you just wonder why you're stopping, and then when you load it up, go in the cab, you're like, ah, AWS has gone off. Running fairly smoothly. There was that tiny bit of lag there, but no different to normal. So yep, computer's happy, I'm happy, stream's happy, Wi-Fi's happy, touch wood. I know I always rattle on about Wi-Fi, but it's normally what causes the problems, you see. But it hasn't done that lately, so yeah. I don't think it's even died at all once today, so that's brilliant. We're nearly up to speed. Just look at that tilt. Up to 40 now. It's nice being able to see the amps. See it rocking, I think that's quite cool. I will say in real life, I think this end of the cab was noisier. It was a few years since I had the cab ride on the Thumper, but this end was quite noisy. That's the reason why there's a door that's they try and soundproof it as much as possible. Why not? AWS. And we are here. Slow down a little bit. We are approaching the 25. Maybe slow down a bit more. Ah, here we go. You can hear flange squeal. Yeah, we overshot that. Shh. Don't tell anyone. Hi, Joe. Yeah, we overshot a little bit. But funnily enough, we stopped perfectly in time for passengers. I just can't believe I've done that. Whole stream went well. Until then. So I got distracted then. Let's just slightly reverse it. There we go. Off. There. Yeah, hi Joe, you alright? Funnily enough, you've caught me around the end of this stream. Because I'll be ending very soon. Headlight off. We'll let people on. That lass wants to get on. I added that there. Need coal somewhere. Does seem to rain inside sheds. Little fueling station. Not the best quality, but good. Thank you. How are you? Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, all's good here. Just testing out if I can do Train Simulator live streams, which I think this has proved successful, so. But yeah, it's proved well. I'm quite happy. So I shall probably do a few of these in the evenings, you know. I mean, I've had a good run of this stream, so I think it's near enough time to go. Although I shall stay on for 5 or so minutes. So if you wish to have any questions answered, do answer them. I'm gonna fully shut off this Thumper. Whilst anyone has any questions. Make sure those are off, yeah. I can have that on there anyway. You'll see it rock as the engine shuts down. Did I make this rail? So it's an existing route, Joe. This is the North Somerset Railway. So it runs from Froome Market to Radstock. I have added things like the coal and the water crane and the people and the benches. Sorry, I'm really good at the mouse and that. The fueling station. Each loco you can add and remove if you want, and run them and all that if you set it to. But no. Oh, and I made this siding. This siding doesn't come with it. With help from Toby, actually. Just an extra siding for the extra storage, to be honest. It's useful to have. But no, basically apart from that, and adding locos and rolling stock, it's all original to how the builders made it. I don't know who made it, if it was just Train Sim themselves. But no, I didn't make this. Let's shut the battery off as well. Okay. It's all shut off now. I can prime it. There you go, you can turn AWS off. It'll tell me. It's a nice little thing, it's quite neat. This is your air. So if I just hold it down briefly, you can see it go down to 80, the horn. I didn't want to do that for ages to deafen you. Do I have Train Simulator? Do I have East Somerset Railway and Train Sim? Yes, I do. Yeah, there you go. You can see it goes down, and eventually that'll go down, and then you have no brakes and stuff. You've got to start up and let the engines run to build up the air. So I do have Train Simulator. It's very dated route though. It's not the best. It's not very scenic. Someone made it a long time ago. Could do with an update. But someone else will probably do that. Eventually, hopefully at least. Would be nice. It's not very scenic at all. It's quite bare and plain. It's not the best, but it's summer, you know. It's better than now. But I tend to just run the North Somerset Railway more than anything else. Do have American stock and stuff like that as well, which is nice. I just like hearing the rain. Rain splattering down. I like that, especially when you sat in the car, nothing running, no music, no engine, no nothing. Just sat there listening to raindrops. So yeah, I'm about to end the stream, so any last questions, get them in now. Get them in now, very quick. I'll give you, I know there's a bit of a delay, so I'll just give you a minute or so. Have I got any steam locos? Yes, I do, Joe. Hunslet Fitzwilliam. Dinmore Manor. Pannier Tank. Beetle Crusher, they were nicknamed. I forgot the exact class name. Quite an old loco, Scottish. And then got diesel wise 37, 03, 08. The Thumper's only here for the stream. I don't normally leave that on. Oh, the Ruston. Little Ruston 48. I just sort of run the diesel because it's quick and easy and simple, and for just a test stream. I will do Steam streams now. Now I know it's successful. I've got stuff like Black 5 and all that I can run, so yeah. I'll do that eventually. Prairies and small prairies. I haven't got the large ones. I was actually going to do some shunting with the Fitzwilliam, but I thought, now safety valves would be blowing off all the time, so I just done with this. I only done that so I can see how the delay is on the phone. Yeah, not too long, about 5 seconds. I haven't got Ivets. You can get the Ivet tank engine though, but not tender. They don't have any of them. Not yet, at least. There's a standard 2, which is close, just not there. I don't have it either. I've got stuff like B1 and I think it's called the A class. I've got a Y7, which was freeware. Aveling and Porter, like traction engine on rails. It's quite slow. All sorts. All sorts. Not a lot, but also not very little. If that makes any sense. I don't know if it will work if I do this. It'll do some slow loading so you see other people's photos and locos and stuff. So here you go. Chris probably isn't on to see this, but up here is where you can set the weather. So if I just set it to clear, I'm just going to get rid of the thumper briefly. And I'll put in... I know one you'll like, Joe, actually. I was going to do the Evelyn Importer, but... Oh yeah, I've got a nice King class. The latest King class by... Caledonia Works, which is quite nice. Here we go. Will that keep you quiet? Double header with 41-45 would be amazing. I don't have the 41. I don't have large prairies. I haven't bought it. But somewhere, there you go. Drive for tenner. It's not brilliant though. The brakes are too harsh and stuff. And the whistle ain't right. It is more for the older whistle though. Not real to the, well, not very accurate to the real lady now, but still. This is free, you can get this free, so it's not perfect, but it's freeware. You see the motion going in between the frames. Brakes are very sharp on this. But you just like slam it really quick. You know, really harsh, which isn't very realistic, but what is nice though is the brakes are modelled. I just line it up. Not sure, Joe. Haven't tried it. It goes a bit slow around there because of how much stuff I've got. You can see how harsh them brakes can be though. Right, I think that'll be it for now. That's a bit of fun there. I wasn't going to do that, so... No sentinels on this, which is a shame on my side, isn't it? But right, I think that's it now. I think I shall say goodbye. I shall bring out... Oh, just bashed out the wall. Sorry, I stretched and bashed my elbow in the wall. Didn't hurt. Anyway, I shall do a Steam stream next time. I'll run a Steam loco. I'll pick one out. I'll see what I can do. See what I'll... Well, I'll just see. Pick some up. whatever I feel like. Could be a king, could be a black 5. We'll see. We shall see. So, anyway, thank you for watching the stream. Anyone who's been along, or if anyone is re-watching it from scratch, you see the safety valve starting to go now. Anyone who's re-watched this stream through as a normal video, then thank you for watching. Make sure you've pressed like on the stream. It's always fun. Share it with friends if you want to. It's up to you. If you haven't already, consider subscribing as normal. And I think I shall say goodbye. So, yep, thanks for watching. And I shall do another one of these in the future. Cheerio for now. And from Lady Nan.